What's up, y'all? We back at it. We just got the latest chapter of Kagurabachi, chapter 60, and man, it's hard to believe it's only 60 chapters. I guess it's just with all the content that we get within a chapter, it just feels like we should be a lot higher up, like maybe chapter 100 or something along those lines. But yeah, of course y'all see a new setup. I just moved. I'm still getting everything worked out, so I do apologize if it's not up to standards, but we got to get into this chapter, man. I knew it. I knew they were going to find a way to nerf your boy Hakuri. I just didn't know how, but he probably going to be like this for the rest of the arc. I'm going to be real with y'all. He might come back like the last 2 chapters of the arc, but I think he done, yo. The way they made him utilize his power and just he kept pushing himself to try to be of value to everyone. Now he's at the point where, he's wearing these machines to try to help him where he can get his powers restored. Like, I told you, I knew they were going to nerf this guy. He's not even a threat no more. I felt like, honestly, this would be the one person that Samura or the, or the group would try to go after, the Hishaku. But now that he's in this type of state, they probably like, we don't even got to worry about this kid, he's done. But I do like the fact that the leaders are valuing everything that he contribute, that Hakuri contribute. They're looking at him like, so we're just gonna have to give it time, let him get back up to, up to speed. But he was very valuable to the group. I do like the fact that at the headquarters, they're actually showing him some type of respect, at least in my opinion. So I'm happy about that. You guys can let me know how y'all feel about that, because honestly, I felt like they were going to just treat him like a tool. And that's really got me wondering, who could this traitor be within the organization? The one who gave out the whereabouts of Chihiro's father. Who could it be among these leaders? Because it's gonna have to be someone higher up. I doubt they would give that information to the people that's lower down, such as your girl, Yuki. I doubt they would give it to her. So I'm just very curious, who the heck gave out the information on Chihiro's father? And the only person I could think of is Azume. He's the only character we're really familiar with at this time. But after Chihiro found out that Samura was a traitor, I don't think he can handle, someone else being a traitor with it that he's working with. And it's crazy because the deception that Samura actually did in the last chapter, you can see that it's not only weighing heavy on Chihiro, it's weighing heavy on Hakuri, it's weighing heavy on Shiba, it's weighing heavy on the ninjas that were supposed to protect Samura all these years that's been with him the past 3 years. It's weighing heavy on the organization headquarters itself, because no one expected this. And I'm not gonna lie, they making his enchanted blade just seem dope as hell. The fact that it has owls all over the city, the moment it senses a large amount of spirit energy, he's gonna be known about it right away, and he's gonna go on the attack, go on the strike. That's insane to me, yo. I love it. I love it. But we about to get into this chapter, man. I just had to talk about some of the stuff that stood out to me, after reading this chapter. But of course, it starts off with them pretty much talking about, Hakuri and how he's pretty much out of commission right now. Physically he's in good standings, but they're trying to repair the damage that was done to his mind by using his sorcery abilities constantly. But do you have it with the higher ups? And this is a moment where this series does it a lot, where they tease you with something to the point where you're like, I gotta see it. And again, they're talking about the sword from the previous arc. They're like, with Samura being out there hunting down the bearers, we might have to use the use the sword. I can't think of the name. I think it's called the Magatsumi. Hopefully I'm saying it correctly. Hopefully I'm remembering it correctly. But that's the sword from the previous arc. And you got it where like, we need to grab this sword and use it. And you got the other leaders like, hey, bruh, let's not get hasty. We don't need to make that type of move right now. And that's another situation where it's like, what else can this sword do? Like, I can't wait till we get to the point where we're like, damn, that sword was worth the wait, yo. That sword is something foul. Yo, I can't wait till we get to that point. But as of right now, everyone is believing, Chihiro is dead. You got the higher up saying like, Samura, he's also planning on portraying the Hishaku group as well. So maybe we should let them butt heads with one another right now while we try to get our bearings back. And that is a smart decision, very smart. I probably would have came up with that as well if I was on the leader team. I'm not saying I would be on the leader team. I'm just saying if I was, I probably would have thought of that as well. But next thing you know, it jumps to Chihiro waking up in the hospital bed, and you got it where Sheba's right there to greet him, asking how does he feel, and you could tell that not Sheba, but Chihiro, he's feeling it, man. He's like, yo, Yoji was killed, man. He's just thinking about the small memories he had with your boy Yoji. Like when Yoji first arrived, and he was like, yo, you're a splitting image of your father, man. You look just like him 18 years ago, blah, blah, blah. And he's thinking like, yo, Mr. Samura is the enemy? It couldn't be. Like, he also stabbed me and nearly killed me. And then you have it where Sheba tells this man like, nah, bruh, I'm gonna be real with you. You died. And I'm like, and when we got the last chapter, I'm just thinking like, yo, dang, he must have really wounded him where people's thinking he's dead. But no, we got it right here. It's confirmed by Sheba that he actually, Chihiro actually died. He's like, yo, your heart stopped. You were confirmed dead. Like, yo, your boy Samura was not playing. He's like, yo, at any time I could end your life. It kind of reminds me of Bleach. And I don't know if you remember like the part in Bleach where, Aizen was in front of Ichigo, and Ichigo jumped back and he took a stance, and then like Aizen just looked at him like, yo, why would you jump back? As if your heart wasn't always within my reach. And the next thing you know, he's touching Ichigo on his heart. That's the vibe I got from this. My bad about my phone going on, but that's the vibe I got from that. Like, yo, bruh, at any time Samura could have took your life, no matter what you did. But you got it where, Sheba goes to say, yo, several minutes after your death, your lungs and your liver got healed, and your wounds closed. The only thing you had was a little bit lost of blood, but then you came to. And so does that mean your boy Samura has the ability to heal people? Because I thought he was going to say maybe Char showed up, but we didn't have any mentions of Char. And then you got it where Sheba says like, yo, to the point where your contract to your sword was broken. Like, the contract only breaks to the sword when you die. And I wonder, did they actually show us that immense, in the battle that we got in last chapter? Because I can't recall. I feel like that's something somebody would have pointed out in the comment section, but I was unaware. I didn't know the contract was broken on the sword, but I did see him go to reach for the sword. I did see Samura go to reach for the sword, but that's when Sheba showed up. But with that being said, how does Sheba manage to get the sword in the sheath without touching it? And we know once you touch the sword itself, that's when the contract is formed. So I'm curious how Sheba did it. Like, that just shows how fast he is. He was able to get the sword into the sheath without actually touching the sword. That's insane. Like, this dude's speed is just on a whole nother level. I want to see Sheba go all out. I'm sorry. I got to see him. Like, when we see this dude fight, it better be like some Kakashi level type battle, some Gojo type of battle, like, yo, Jiraiya. It better be like some head sensei type of, like, oh my god, this is what the strongest of the war can do, like, type of situation. I'm sorry, man, I was just thinking about it. I was getting amped. But you got it where Chihiro is just like surprised, like, yo, damn. And then, Sheba goes to say like, Samura, he thinks that Samura did that deliberately. It was his plan for his revival, for Chihiro's revival. And he's like, yo, you had nothing to do with the war, so you're not necessarily guilty of the sins of that war. Again, another situation where it has me wanting to know what actually took place in this war. But you got it where, Chihiro was like, yo, but why would he even do it like that? He wants some type of explanation, and that's when Sheba goes to explain, like, yo, you're not part of our sins, and he also maybe wanted me to know that I failed to protect you. And you got it with Sheba himself. He's feeling some type of way. He's feeling bad about the situation because he's like, yo, this is the second time I couldn't protect you. The first time was when your father died. I wasn't able to get there in time to help you. And this is the second time I wasn't able to get here to protect you. And you got it where he's feeling bad about it. And you got Chihiro trying to tell him like, yo, man, hey, look, man, we don't got no evidence that, Mr. Samura meant to. And it's pretty obvious that your boy Chihiro still wants to believe in Samura. He still wants to believe like, yo, maybe this was a bigger, maybe there's a bigger plan to it that we're unaware of. But you got it where, Sheba goes to say like, yo, he has no reason to kill you. You're not a part of our sins. And then, Chihiro's, he's just like stuck there like, yo, he's lost in thought. You see, everyone's hurting from what actually happened. But then you got the ninja that walks in. I believe he's 21 years old, if I'm not mistaken. But he looks like a little kid. Let me put my phone on vibrate. I apologize. Let me put it on vibrate for right now. But yeah, you have it where he walks in the room and he introduced himself to Chihiro. Chihiro's looking at him like, yo, he's just a child. But no, he's the head of the ninja clan. And you have it where, he's like, yo, we've been watching over Mr. Samura for 3 years, and we had no idea that he was actually planning something like this. He says, before we knew it, we were all knocked unconscious. We seen that in the previous chapter. By the time Chihiro got to the battlefield, everyone was knocked out besides Hakuri, but then eventually even Hakuri passed out from the blows that he took. And that just shows you how skilled that Samura is. He was able to knock out these high-class ninjas, these ninjas who were trained to fight by his side. He was able to knock all of them out without them even knowing what was going on. But you got it where we find out that Hakuri, he's blaming himself. And it's only right. He's probably thinking to himself, had he not given the sword to Samura, Samura would have never been capable of doing such a thing. If only he would have gave Yoji his sword first, things could have been different. And Hakuri, he's beating himself up over this, man. And I feel sorry for him. And then you have it where Hakuri wakes up in the hospital and he tells, the leader of the ninja, like, yo, can you watch over Chihiro because this is my fault. And you have it where the ninja feels like he owes a debt. As well, I'm pretty sure the rest of his colleagues feel the same way. He feels like he owes a debt to Hakuri because if it wasn't for Hakuri, they wouldn't be alive. He looks at Hakuri as someone who saved their lives by, getting the enchanted blade to that location, bringing Chihiro there. He looks at him as some type of savior, and he's like, yo, until he's back on his feet, us ninjas, we're going to try to, pay our debt. We're going to try to do what he asks of us. And I think that's pretty dope. And you have it where these guys are going to team up together, work together to actually try to stop Samura. You even have it where Chihiro himself is saying like, yo, I want him to understand. I want Samura to understand that, yo, because of my sins that I've done already, I'm going to hell regardless. And I'm very curious how the next interaction is going to be between these two characters. You see Chihiro has a couple new scars on his face. I wonder if they're actually going to remain. But you got it where Chihiro, he ends up teaming up with the ninja. He gets his enchanted blade back. He ends up teaming up with the ninjas. I wonder if he formed a contract yet, because they show, your boy Shiva handing him the blade, but they don't actually show him touching the hilt or pulling it from the sheath. But you have it where Chihiro tells him like, I won't die again. And then you got Shiva saying, I'll hold you to that. And it was just, I don't know, it was just an epic moment. Then you got the samurais, the ninjas putting on these, ninja garments and stuff, like suits and stuff. It looks dope as hell. You got it where these guys worked with Samura. They know how to work around Samura's ability to sense, bloodlust. And with that being said, they will be the best countermeasure for facing off against Samura. And you got it where they're teaming up against Chihiro. They're actually going to go out there to go find Samura. And this looks dope as hell. Like they say, that the greatest potential or the greatest nemesis to Samura is these guys right here. I don't know about Chihiro, if he would be considered a great nemesis, but all in all, man, I can't wait to see how this actually go down, man. But let me know y'all thoughts on this chapter. How do y'all feel? How do you feel about your boy Hakuri being nerfed? Chihiro actually being killed but came back to life? Yo, your boy Samura watching over the whole city or the whole area with his abilities. Let me know down below, and I'll catch y'all in the next one, man. Peace.